Hi, kindergarten, first and second grade leaders. We're preparing for March 31st in our series called Jesus in Me. This week we start a new series looking at all of the events that happen up to Easter so that we can give the kids a good understanding as they begin to make preparations to celebrate Easter as a family. We're going to start with the Lord's Supper during the Passover meal. And remember, we've already talked about the Passover meal with the kids as God was moving the Israelites out of Egypt with Moses. He passed over the houses that had blood on them. He passed over their house and did not kill their babies. And so help a few of your kiddos remember that we've talked about what the Passover was and that God told the people to continue to celebrate the Passover. And so when Jesus went to celebrate the Passover with the disciples, this was a normal everyday thing. So just like our kids like to eat, many of them like to eat chicken nuggets and French fries. Remind them that just like we eat a regular meal or we celebrate a regular meal like Thanksgiving with our family, they did the same thing. And so this wasn't unusual for Jesus to celebrate this meal with the people, but what he did was take the things that they already knew had a meaning and he gave it a new meaning, which was the whole reason Jesus was sent as our rescuer, is to give us new meaning and to give life new everything so that we could have new life because we were dead in our sins. And so there's a great picture in just these very simple things of bread and juice or wine in the disciples' case. So before you get started, your social activity for this series, it should be a whole lot of fun. And it really is just meant to be a whole lot of fun. You will have some buckets. You should have 4 buckets per small group and some eggs. And there'll be 2 separate bags for you. If you can help us by keeping those separate bags with the same number of eggs in them as you finish up this activity, that'd be great. If it doesn't come together, don't worry about it. Don't stress over it. I think there are 25 eggs in each bag and some plastic spoons. I'll show you some plastic spoons. So there's some plastic spoons. And so what you're going to do is take all of the eggs that are in your bag, dump them in a bucket, and give out the plastic spoons to 2 different teams. So you're going to make 2 different teams. Each team is going to get 2 buckets and 1 set of eggs and spoons. And what you're going to do is set out the empty bucket a little ways away from the bucket with the eggs in it, and kids are going to take turns in a relay style, try to pick up an egg with their spoon and moving the eggs over to the bucket. This is a minute to win it type of game, and so it'd be nice if you could time them. If it becomes a really difficult task and it just is good to help them finish, then you're welcome to let them do that. But it is supposed to be a minute to win it type game. So the first team, well, the team that has the most eggs in their second bucket is the winner at the end of your 1 minute, if you make it to do it a minute to minute type game. If you want to make a variation of this game for your kiddos, you are welcome to do that as well. Remember, we do these social activities so that kids have a way to build a relationship with you. As they come into the room, they're trying to figure out who they know and what they know and how they're going to fit into everything. And so by us helping engage them quickly in the games, you are giving them the opportunity to build those relationships, and those relationships are what's going to bring them back and make them want to come be a part of more things that we do at Parkway. So we'll go into large group and watch our video about the Last Supper, and then we'll be dismissed into small group. And in your small group time, you'll have a bag that has a cup, And it should have all of your utensils in the cup. You should have a fork, a spoon, a napkin, a cup, and a plate. And just like in our story today, each of the things that Jesus ate during the Seder meal, the Passover meal with his disciples, each of those things had a meaning, and then he gave new meaning to the bread and the drink. And so we're going to play a little game with the kids and show them that how it's possible that even food could have a meaning. And you know, God, he was so much concerned about us having relationship with him. His rules would give meanings to things so that we could remember him, and so we could remember to put him first. And so what you're going to do is take out all of your elements and lay them out on a table and ask all your kiddos to stand up. And then you're going to hold up the cup. And when you hold up the cup, the kids are going to clap 3 times. So every time you hold up the cup, they should clap 3 times. And then every time you hold up the plate. All right, let's practice this. So every time you hold up the cup, you clap 3 times. And every time you hold up the plate, they're going to stomp 3 times. And you can't see my feet, so I am stomping. So stomp 3 times. And then every time you hold up the fork, they're going to wiggle their arms. Or they could be a fork, or they can do one of their fancy Fortnite dance moves. When you hold up the spoon, they can do jumping jacks. And then when you hold up the napkin, they will turn around. And so what I'm hoping will happen in this silly game is that you can get it going fast and have people doing silly motions and just having fun and giggling to help them remember that at the Passover meal, the Jews used special foods and drink to help them remember the first Passover, when God rescued his people from the Egyptians. God brought them out of slavery and into a new life of freedom. And that when Jesus ate the Last Supper with the disciples, he was preparing for them a way to remember him, because he was about to die, and he knew he was about to die. And so he was helping them build new meaning into these exact same elements. I hope that's a really fun game for you guys. I'm excited to see how that all works out. You have memory verse cards, and each of these green cards has a word from the memory verse, and you can play this. You could just lay them all out on the table, and the kids can take turns flipping the cards, trying to put them all in order, or you could use your poster. And every time you find one of the words, you could, however you want to do that, really, it's just to help the kids get some practice in using those words and to learn the memory verse. Then you will pray and dismiss and send them on their way. Thank you so much for leading and loving on kids. We have a few things coming up. April 13th, we have our family Easter celebration. And I promise this one you really, 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 really want to come be a part of. We're doing it on the Saturday before Easter, because we figured that most people have lots of family things on Easter weekend. So come be a part of that. Invite your friends, your family members, everybody you know to come be a part of it with you, because we know that the gospel will be very clearly communicated to everyone that comes. And then when we're done with our short program, everybody will get the chance to go outside and to celebrate all of the things we have just learned about Jesus, including an egg hunt, including food trucks with food to purchase. There's just going to be a whole lot of fun, and you're going to want to be a part of this. If you're ready to serve or sign up to serve in some way, please let me know. We will need some people to be just friendly faces in the crowd to help greet and be nice and help people know who to ask questions of. We also need some people to run some different games. So Let me know if you can join us. And then, of course, we want you back for Easter as well. If you are in town Easter weekend, we need you serving with kids. We are going to have kids services for all Easter services. And it's not always a big weekend for us, for kids, but it might be after revival. And I hope that you've joined us for revival. It was such a sweet time together in worship and in encouragement and remembering God is with us and that we are allowed in our country to celebrate that openly. Have a great week and feel free to reach out to me if you need anything.